Mr. Holloway,
Present.
Mr. Matheson,
Here.
Ms. Reese,
Here.
Mr. Robinson, Mr. Payne,
Here.
Ms. Perkins.
Okay, if, well, let's stand for a moment of silence. Okay. Mr. Matheson, will you lead us in a pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next thing's employee recognition and student recognition.
We'll start that next month.
Don't have anything, okay? And, Ms. Burchett was supposed to speak for Action Coalition. She didn't have all her data yet.
Yes.
So we're gonna put that off, and there's no other forms turned in. Okay, moving right along to the consent agenda. Is there anything on there anybody wants to pull off, or we need to discuss separately? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I make so that motion.
Okay, Mr. Holloway
I'll second.
and Ms. Reese second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. Okay, report from the Student Board Representative, Vanessa Perkins.
We have a couple of things going on in the summer. First, we have senior portrait dates are now open to sign up on the 18th and 25th of July. The high school sports teams have hosted several camps. At the beginning of the summer, there was a basketball camp. Baseball is currently taking place, including yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And cheer is holding a camp for grades 1st through 8th during July 26th through 28th. Fall Sports Media Day is August 1st, and the volleyball season starts with a regional media day at Science Hill on August 10th. The high school's band camp is July 25th through 29th, and freshman orientation is July 31st, just before the first half day of high school on August 7th. Schedules for school will be available online after August 1st. And lastly, I'd like to welcome Jackson Clifton as our new junior school board representative.
Okay, thank you. When was that cheer camp
Cheer
for the
camp
kids?
is July 25th through 29th.
I know someone that would like to do that.
You gonna go up?
Well, I've got a granddaughter now. Okay, thank you. Okay, item 7, the second and final reading of the Johnson County Board of Education Policy Committee recommended policy change to the following policy. That is policy number 6.200, the attendance policy.
Yes, and was just additions of distinguishings between what is an excused absence and an unexcused absence.
Okay. Okay, any discussion, or do you want to make a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to we approve policy number 6.200.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Holloway, second. Call roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. All righty. Number 8, approve the memorandum of understanding, or the MOU, between the Johnson County Sheriff's Office and Johnson County Board of Education concerning SRO grant. That's your attachment 8.
Yes, and with this, the state now does the MOU, and we have to go by what the state sends. We can't make any changes to it. Everything, again, they're employed by the Sheriff's Department. All the funding goes through the county now. It doesn't even flow through the school system. But in essence, we have to approve this because it's the state's guidelines. We have to approve as is.
Check in the box.
Yeah.
Gotta do it. All righty. Any questions? If not, do I hear a motion to approve it?
So make that a motion.
Okay, Mr. Holloway. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Reese, seconding. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. Okay, the 5-year plan update.
Yes, this is just an update on the 5-year plan. All district and school administrators will be provided with an ALI membership for differentiated professional learning, and this is done through TOS, and they provide some great training for administrators. So they've already sent out some sessions for this year, and we're signed up for them. And majority of them is virtual, and the principals really, really enjoy those. It's just some great training for them.
Okay. All righty, and number 10, oh my goodness, I don't know how many. We got our first reading of a whole page of policies here. I'll just let you go down the list if you will.
And I put the little cheat sheet for you on there. These are all based on the new legislative laws that have just passed. That's why there's always so many in July. And these are state laws, so in essence, we have to accept them. But policy 1.106, which is Code of Ethics, this state law changed the entire policy and now requires the board to notify the Tennessee Ethics Commission of the primary person responsible for administering and enforcing their ethical standards. Policy 1.400, which is school board meetings. State law now states that board members can attend meetings electronically due to 2 additional reasons. Primarily it was because of military service. Now they've added sickness on advice of healthcare professional and inclement weather. Policy 1.402, notification of meetings. State law now requires notices of how individuals may provide public comments on agenda items. Policy 1.404, appeals to and appearances before the board. State law now requires restrictions on the length of comment period and the length of time per speaker. 3.202, which was emergency preparedness plan. State law now requires an incident command drill and an emergency safety bus drill. 3.204, threat assessment team. New policy that's required by state law to have a threat assessment team, and we actually have one. We met today about that. 3.205, security. State law now requires a policy on how to admit community members to buildings after school hours with someone being stationed at the doors. This would be, for example, parent-teacher conferences, ball games. If our buildings have people in them, there has to be someone at the doors to let them in. Otherwise, our doors have to be locked.
Okay. Could that be like just an employee?
Yes,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
Does it have to be a security guard or an SRO?
Okay.
4.204, summer instructional programs. State law requires us to provide information on 3rd grade summer school attendance. 4.300, extracurricular activities. State law requires parents or guardians to opt in before their minor child joins a school club or participates in the activities of the club. 4.403, library materials. State law now includes flexibility by creating a process with several tiers of review for challenged library materials. 5.106, application and employment. State law clarifies that districts may not hire individuals who appear on the list of perpetrators for child abuse or registry of abuse of vulnerable persons from other states now, not just Tennessee. 5.305, family medical leave. State law now allows licensed employees who have been employed with the school district for at least 12 consecutive months, 6 weeks of paid leave after the birth, stillbirth, or adoption of a newly placed minor child. 5.307, the physical assault leave. State law clarifies that teachers will receive their full salary while on leave if it's due to a physical assault while at work. 5.310, vacations and holidays. Federal law added June 19th to the list of paid holidays. 5.600, staff rights and responsibilities. State law added that teachers are required to report students who commit on offenses on school property that endanger the life, health, or safety of others. 6.309, zero tolerance offenses. State law added threats of mass violence punishable by 1 year expulsion. 6.314, corporal punishment. State law requires certain actions to be taken before corporal punishment can occur. 6.4001, student surveys, analysis, and evaluations. State law now requires parents and guardians to opt in before their minor child participates in non-instructional surveys, analysis, or evaluations. And finally, 6.402, physical exams and immunizations. State law requires parents and guardians the ability to opt out of health screenings conducted as part of the coordinated school health program. And you all will get a lot more information about this at summer law next week.
Anybody got any questions on any of the policies before we go on? Okay. Item 11, approve the one-year security contract with the GSC Security and Electronics in the amount of $13,320, and bids are on file. That's your attachment number 11.
And this is who we've used for years. There's no more landline bills with security. They're all cellular, so it's definitely more reliable. We've seen a huge difference in this, especially at I think the vocational school and the middle school where we had some issues previously.
Any questions about the security contract? Okay, not, anyone want to make a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to approve this contract for
Ms. Reed.
GSC.
Okay, Ms. Reed, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Ms. Holloway, second. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson,
Yes.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. All right, approve the propane contract with Freeman Gas in the amount of $1.50 per gallon with no tank lease and $75 per service call. Attachment number 12, and there's
Is that
Tennessee code.
$75 an hour or $75?
That I don't know.
Dustin? Service call, so not an hour.
Yeah, they've been real good, like come and light the pilot lights and stuff. They just come and light them and are on their way.
What were you paying last year for gas?
Gas last year was $1.99, and we averaged about 100,000 gallons per year. I think the year before it was like 107. Last year it was like 88. We didn't use as much last year, but you know, it wasn't as cold, but it did drop from last year.
What's the price of it on state contract, statewide contract?
It's not a fixed cost.
Yeah, I know how it operates. Very seldom it ever does, though. Now, what's the present price on it?
He said, I know the pipeline price was like 63 cents or something, that's what the pipeline price was, but then they add a certain amount to it. So, I know Mr. Henley talked with the guy, and he gave him a few months and stuff, and there was somewhat of a saving there, but, you know, it's a chance you're taking. I mean, if they change, it could be good or it could be bad. You don't really know how that's gonna go.
So it's 63 cents per gallon at the present time.
That's what the pipeline price is.
Pipeline price.
And then they add a certain, they add a percentage to that.
They add 39 cents.
Is it 39 cents? Okay, so they'll add 39 cents to that, whatever the pipeline price is for that day.
So,
If tomorrow the pipeline price goes to 90 cents, then you're gonna add 39 to that. But, you know, so it fluctuates day to day.
yeah, I know.
But with that state contract, you have no service. There's no service with that. You know, with Freeman in the past, anytime we've had to get propane bottles filled for our propane buffers, our forklift, we take them up, they don't charge us for that. We go up there, that's, you know, all we pay for is the propane that goes into the buildings. They don't charge us for the service, or none of that.
So you got 39 cents and 63 cents right now today. How much is that?
$1.08.
$1.02?
Yeah, and that's the day.
Subtracted from $1.50.
Right. But that's the day though. If tomorrow it may change.
Yeah, but it won't go that high. I used to deal with it, I know.
With, you know, how the government is.
Okay, I have a question. If we did go with this other, all right, if we had to have maintenance done, who would do that? Would we have to hire somebody to do
We'd
it?
have to get one of the other companies in town. I know the state contract right now goes to Marsh. That's who has the state contract for our region, is Marsh Propane. So,
They've had it for years.
I mean, and I don't know, you know, I think, when I talked to Kevin, I think their price was $65, $70 for a service call. And I know when we had Marsh in the past, they charged us, I mean, I know one time for sure they charged us, you know, for like 2 or 3 hours. I mean, they wasn't there for 2 or 3 hours, I know that for sure. I mean, they let us run out of propane more than one time for it, so
State contract won't.
it'll still come out of this down
Yeah,
here as far as I'm concerned.
Marsh did, yeah. We run out, how many times we run out of our fish farm?
There in the greenhouse was several times.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Well, if you had them for maintenance contract, they're not gonna be supplying fuel anyway. Your
I'm
state
sorry?
contract will be coming from, probably out of Knoxville. That's where it'll probably be coming from. On the
think-
fuel.
I think they told Leon it comes out of,
Yeah,
it'll come out of here.
I think that's what they.
I'd say most of ours came out of Knoxville.
I know that's what they told Leon.
Yeah, well. Marsh makes sure that if it's on state contract, they'll fulfill their end of it.
Well, what's the pleasure? We
But you do
wanna
what you want to do.
postpone it, or do you want to approve this?
Okay, postpone it. Don't it have start, so when does it start? When does it start, the contract, the new contract? Start in August, right? Okay, so if we didn't have a contract before then we got no one. Is that correct? Okay.
Okay, what's the
That's
pleasure?
a considerable savings, so from $1.50 to $1.02.
I make a motion that we secure from Freeman Gas for our school system for the next year
That the 1 year?
at the rate of $1.50 or $1.50 a gallon and 75 cents an hour for service calls.
This is annual, right? For
It's
1
annual.
year?
Yes, it's annual.
Okay. All right, do we have a second? Anybody want to second it? Yeah, I'll go ahead and second that so we can vote on it. Call roll, please.
Mr. Holloway,
Yes.
Mr. Matheson,
Pass.
Ms. Reese,
Yes.
Mr. Payne.
Yes. Okay, Tina, budget update.
Okay, the 23-24 budget was approved by the county commission on Monday evening, and that included the school budget. It now goes to the state for approval. We do not yet know our carryover. We're still accruing items for June. So as soon as Mr. Robinson gives me those numbers, I'll send those out to you. Taking a look at the year's sales tax revenue, it was up $44,812 from last year. The property tax revenue for the past year was down $45,805. And then just taking a look at the general purpose summary financial, we are 78.6% of revenue received and 76.3 expenditures.
Any questions for Tina? Okay. If not, let's move on to the director.
Okay. I just want to say again, welcome to Vanessa and Jackson. So we've got two great board reps, and we look forward to working with you this year. Again, summer law will be next week, so we do look forward to going down and learning a lot of information. We are excited to have the kids come back on August the 7th. It's hard to believe. By the time we have our next board meeting, kids will be back in session. I do want to give you a quick Mountain City update. So they are at 47.1% complete. You can see the gym exterior there. That's the exterior with the classroom in the background, and you can see sort of the opening to the foyer entrance. This was the old gym. If you've been in Mountain City Gym, those two double doors lead you out, and you go up the steps and you're actually in the school. This was the walkway to what was the storage room. This will now be the teacher workroom. This was them closing up the old gym windows, and you can see the bleachers. They've been gone for a while. And this is now that they've been closed up and they've been masoned in, looking out where the light is, that's going into the new gym. Again, they got the opening to the teacher workroom. The sprinkler system is roughed in and it's underway. And they've got steel joints are set in the classroom wing. And then that is the rear wall behind at the gym, and you can see the road that'll go around Mountain City. And that's the street side with the gym and the windows. And then the walls are topped out in the new gym, and if you've been by, it's pretty tall, especially compared to the rest of the building. Looks really good. So I just wanted to give you an update on that. And then we did want to share some information we received late this afternoon on an opportunity, and just want to see which way you all want us to go. Again, it's totally your decision, but it's a quick turnaround for one part, because one part is due next week. And so we asked Mike if it was okay if we just shared this information that we received from the mayor's office today. So Stephen's going to share that, and it's in concern with buses.
Okay.
You all can, wanted to give you, this is the bottom part of the email that I received. It was sent to us by the mayor, and then forwarded on to me. I just want to share it with you as an informational item. It is a quick turnaround, so I just want to know which way you all would like for me to proceed. I'll let you, it'll take a minute to read that. I've read through it several times. Here is my understanding of it. You've got this EPA grant that funds the electric buses, the same grant through which we got the two. As a side note, those are built. They're in Oklahoma. Ready to head this way fairly soon. We have the chargers on hand. They are not hooked up yet. They will be hooked internally through the bus garage. They will not be coming off the pole because they're relatively low voltage. And they are about the size of a computer. They're not very big. And I don't say any of that as a pro or a con. It's just we were surprised at the size or how large they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this grant is a two-sided coin. The EPA funds these at 100% if you get them, but TDEC says that they view you more favorably if you put up dollars to match. They don't expect local entities to do that. The TDEC is offering a grant to local entities that they will give us so we can put it up as partial match. And that's through a Volkswagen Environmental Mitigation Trust settlement that they received. I'm not familiar with what that is. TDEC has that money. But we can apply and receive either $25,000 per bus for up to 10 buses or $10,000 per bus for up to 10 buses. But what we have to do, if we're interested in that, by a week from tomorrow, we have to apply to TDEC. And it's not so much apply as submit to them this information at the bottom you see with these bullet points, and that carries on to the next page. And then, if we were to do that, then we have to apply if we choose to. Well, I emailed them. One thing I don't know, if we do this to TDEC and they say, okay, Johnson County, here's 25,000 times 10 or times 5 or however many they fund us for, what I don't know then is, are we then on the hook to move forward with it? I emailed them and asked them that, but I haven't gotten a reply because this all happened this afternoon. So I'm not saying that they were slow to reply. They haven't been, but I haven't heard back from them. But if they were to, then we would have to apply by August 22nd to the EPA to get the buses. I'm not asking you to do it. I'm not asking you not to do it. I'm giving you the information. I didn't want to be the person that got the email from the county government and went on my own and did it, or the person that got the email from the county government and ignored it. Just wanted to bring it before you all. We have not had a chance, stating the obvious, we have not had a chance to see how we feel about the two that we've got. They're in
Did,
Oklahoma.
anybody ever go down and look at the buses that other school districts had?
We talked about it and chose not to, since they were already in the pipeline and coming our way.
Austin County, Tennessee's got one of them.
They do. They don't have the ones we've got, but they do. We talked about it with the board members right back here about going to Bledsoe to see the exact buses we're getting, but we had already made the decision that night to get them.
I would hate to get on the hook to buy 10 electric buses and then we find out that they're not gonna work for us. That's my, but if they are gonna be work for us, we don't wanna miss out on getting 10 free ones.
And that's exactly the issue. And the other, both of those is exactly the issue, are the issues. What I don't have my head around and don't know, because this is all I've got. This is every bit of information I know. It says, like that first bullet there, 25,000 per bus, up to 10 buses to eligible applicants. But then in the lower bullets, the number of eligible buses to be replaced. So we don't need 10, so I don't think they would give us 10 is the way that I read that. So on the back page of what I gave you, Mr. Garver and I talked about this today, and he went over it in detail and made sure this was accurate. So in the coming school year, we only need to purchase one bus. So if I understand this correctly, we may only be able to get one.
Mhm.
You know, we can't have, you know, if we only need 25 buses, we don't need 35 buses, and that's wasteful in and of itself.
What's your mileage? What's the road mileage on these things?
175.
Going from, school route?
I'm not qualified to answer that. I don't, and I'm not here trying to get you all to approve them. It's whatever Ms. Scurlock said, and I don't remember. 175, 150 miles?
Range.
She said don't take them on a field trip. She said they'll do fine on a
Range of
route.
175 miles.
Yeah.
How
That's
many
not
miles
in
can you
that.
go on a diesel?
Mr. Garver, how many miles can you get out of a diesel bus? Filled up?
Well, they got a 100-gallon tank on the ones that I've classified. They can got an asphalt back on a tank of fuel, never have to buy fuel. So I know that for sure. I don't know exactly, usually 7 to 8 miles to the gallon.
But you got a 100-gallon tank on a bus, and it'll go from here to Knoxville and back on that one tank.
Nice.
One time, yeah.
Nashville.
Nice.
Done it myself.
Yeah.
And I was-
So what's the problem with the diesel motor?
I don't have a problem with them. Like I said,
I
this
like
came
the
from,
diesel.
this came from somebody in the county government, so I'm just sharing it, that wanted to know, you know, what's your pleasure?
This bull crap right here is something that Joe Biden's trying to push across this country. And this country's not set up for that yet.
If that's the directive of the board, I am good with that. I could give an
I mean,
opinion
that's
on
my
it.
opinion. The
I'm-
rest of them do what they want to do.
I've got an opinion on it too, but you can share yours. I feel like I need to keep mine to myself. I've got an opinion on it too. I just want to know if you all want me to submit any paperwork or say, let's wait till we get the two we're getting and see how they do.
That's right.
I think that's
I think that's what
That's-
I feel.
Yeah.
Let's wait and see if these buses come.
That's what I was hoping you'd
That's
And if
say.
they don't pan out, hey, come here next week.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping you'd
See,
say.
if other two pieces of junk don't pan out, what are we gonna do with them?
I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. But that
Because there's
was,
some reason that Washington County, Tennessee only got one.
I can't answer that question, but I'm not a advocate of this or not, but what I'm saying is, I'm happy to run the fleet we've got, because it's working. So,
That's right.
All right.
if you're good with that, but this way, we've covered ourselves and put it before the board to make a decision whether, not a voting decision, but to whether to pursue
Let
it.
them make their decision.
All right. So I think we know how we feel about that one. Okay,
That's all I have.
that was it?
That's it.
All right, where'd we get to? Are we done? Yeah, how is? Okay. All right,
Are we finished?
okay, I guess we're ready to entertain a motion to adjourn unless someone's got something else.
I'll make a motion to return.
Let's adjourn.
This one, thank you.
It's just me and you, and this is the one that has to be approved.
If you need me, let me know. Okay.
Well, you know,
Love you
Well,
back.
yeah.
Had a good time.